Oh, that's a little weird. Hey, everything feels super tight and claustrophobic. Let's see if we can kind of change that up a little bit. Ah, there we go. That's much better. All right, so today we're going to be talking about lenses, and we're going to talk about my favorite lens that I think every YouTuber should own in 2024. Alright, so since I'm using that lens right now, let's swap it out. Alright, there we go. Okay, so the lens that I want to talk to you guys about is the 16-35 Power Zoom by Sony. Now, this lens is absolutely insane. The reason that I think this lens is useful for anyone on YouTube, creating TikToks, whatever, is that it offers such a wide perspective. And when it comes to wanting to connect with your audience, especially if you're talking to the camera, a wide angle lens allows them to see your surrounding. Just to show you an example, usually when I'm talking to camera, I'm sitting about here with a 16-35, but on a 24, it's cropping the top of my head. It feels really tight and really claustrophobic. But take a look at when I put the lens on. And so as you can see, I'm standing at the exact same distance, and you feel more like I'm present, like I'm there, and less like there's a wall kind of dividing us. And that's the beauty of this lens. And again, it doesn't need to be just a 16-35, but I think having a wide angle lens in your kit can be extremely valuable, especially for YouTube. So I guess we have a little interruption from our sponsor here, who just came to check up and make sure that we're giving this lens the best kind of review. And and he also wants to let you guys know that you should really subscribe to the channel because you get to see a lot more filmmaking tips and amazing shots of Muji interrupting the shots. Yes, good boy. All right, now back to the video. Now, I kind of want to get into the pros of this lens. First pro is the weight. Now, especially when you're vlogging, when you're bringing your camera around and you don't want anything too heavy, this lens is absolutely perfect. It is so light and just sits on my camera all the time. I've been using it so much now, and the fact that it's super light is a massive bonus. The next pro is obviously the price. Now, when you start comparing this lens to other lenses within the same focal range, there's not a lot of options. So that's when the PZ 16-35 really caught my eye. The next really cool thing is that it has a built-in power zoom. Now, I don't know if you guys ever tried to do a zoom with just the lens and you're trying to like pull on it as you're like zooming in or zooming out, but it's never a smooth zoom. So the new lines of the power zoom lenses actually offer a zoom feature, which is really, really cool and allows you to get some pretty dynamic shots. Also, when you're zooming in and out, the lens stays exactly the same. So your lens won't extend. So when it comes to putting it on a Ronin, your balance stays exactly the same if you're at 16 or you go all the way to 35. For me, the two cons that I have for this lens is, first of all, the zoom. Now, it is an electronic zoom, so you're not going to get that punchiness that you might get on this 70-200 because it's a physical, zoom out. This one is a digital zoom, so your zoom's going to be a lot more fluid. So if you want to do any crash zooms or that kind of stuff, this is where this lens might not be ideal for that. And the second thing is the fact that, it only opens to T4. But for me, that is not a con. Yes, you're gonna get a little bit less background blur, but when it comes to storytelling and when it comes to filming, what I like to do is make the frame dynamic. So I like going wide, I like going closer to my subject, and I also like seeing the background and seeing where the subject is. And so we're getting into a technological age where shooting at 1.3 or 2.8 is not always the best decision, and especially with Sony's dual native ISOs, I have not had an issue where f4 was a limiting factor on this lens. Now, if I'm shooting in super low light situations, I can boost my ISO to the second native ISO, and in 90% of the situations, that works perfectly. All right, so that's pretty much it. I really wanted to share this lens, and anytime I get cool pieces of equipment or gear that I find useful as a filmmaker, I will 100% share it with you guys. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, let me know what focal length you think is the best for YouTube, and if you have any questions as far as lenses, camera settings, lighting, whatever, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Alright, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.